Now let's do a factoring problem that involves finding cube roots. So sometimes when we do factoring, we run into problems that involve perfect cubes. So take, for example, x cubed plus 27. Once you notice that you have an x cubed, you can start finding cube roots. Cube roots. So for each term, you're going to ask yourself, what are the cube roots? So for the first term, I have x cubed, and I want to know what's the cube root of x cubed? Well, that's just going to be x. So I bring down an x. Over here, I have a 27. I know that 27 is a perfect cube, but I want to know what is the cube root of 27? And that's going to be 3. And I know that because 3 to the third power is going to give me 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So all we're doing in this step is finding cube roots. And now what I want to do is I want to make this into my first factor. So I'm going to put parentheses around it. You're also going to have a long factor on the right side. Now to get the terms on the right side, you're going to want to start squaring your cube roots. So now what you're going to do is you're going to square your cube roots. Square your cube roots. So I'm going to take those cube roots that I just found and I'm going to square them. So what's x squared going to be? That's going to be x squared, right? X times x. That'll give me x squared. And now I want to find the square of 3. Well, what's 3 squared? That's going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. So the 9 is actually going to go at the end. And I'll end my parentheses right here. And what you want to do for this problem is you want to leave some room in the middle because we're going to have a third term in the middle. The way we get that is we multiply the cube roots. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the cube roots. So I'm going to take the cube roots that I just found and I'm going to multiply them together. So looking at my cube roots over here, I have x and 3. If I multiply x times 3, I'm going to get 3x. And that's what I put in the middle right here. Now, the last thing that we need to do is we need to figure out whether we need a plus or a minus. And when we try to pick signs for our factorization, what we want to do is we want to remember SOAP. SOAP. S-O-A-P. Now, each letter of the word SOAP is going to mean something different. The S is going to stand for same. What that means is whatever I started off with, like this plus right here, I'm just going to bring it down to my short factor. So I always start off with the same sign that I'm given. The O in SOAP is going to stand for opposite. The O is going to stand for opposite. So that means whatever sign I started off with, I'm going to choose the opposite of it. So what's the opposite of plus? That's going to give me a minus. And that goes right there. And now the last 2 letters of SOAP stand for always positive. Always positive. So the last sign that I choose is always going to be a positive. So I put a plus at the end. And that's how you factor a sum of cubes.